For time and the world do not stand still. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. I said, are certain to miss the future.
Oh no, I missed that. Prime Minister Castro, this missile crisis was the last straw. We almost blew ourselves up. Now, we invited you here today.
In good faith.
In good faith. To sort this thing out.
And why is he here? He lost.
As I always say, forgive your enemies, but remember their names. Now, gentlemen, as I like to think, in the long history of the world, that there are only a few generations.
Sounds like someone breaking in.
Just a storm, Dick. Sit down.
God!
It appears the Pentagon has been breached.
Zombies. Gentlemen, in times like these, our capacity to retaliate must be and has to be massive to deter all forms of aggression. Gentlemen, lock and load.
Any last words, Mr. President?
Yes, General. Any superlative words of inspiration for our humble troops?
Do not pray for easy lives, my friends. Pray to be stronger men.
Power level critical. Major systems offline.
Call the Department of Energy. We need power.
If you're watching this video, then there's a good chance that you, like many of us, are struggling with bad habits in this increasingly digital age. Be it doom scrolling, or procrastination, or a number of other habits. You've probably tried time and time again to break the cycle and not known how. Maybe you've seen some success for a little bit, maybe for a while, but somehow, some way, you always find yourself back in the same trap. Personally, I myself have had the same issue with bad habits throughout my life. It's not necessarily that recurring, but it is something that I've recognized in myself and have recognized in many others. After all, it's a human problem that all of us go through. Having seen many people struggle with such habits and having personally been told that my advice helped them, I figured I would make a comprehensive guide on how to break through your bad habits. Now, my first tip cycles back to JFK's quote earlier in the video, which was that time and the world do not stand still. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. For you, you may find that this cycle seems inescapable. Whether it's doom scrolling or another similar habit, you've been counting the days. You can make it to a week without doing whatever it is. You're able to make it to 2 weeks, 21 days, 30 days, 90 days, whatever. But somehow, no matter how long it's been, whether it's been months or years, you always find yourself falling back into this trap. And you don't understand why. I have 200 plus days. How is this happening? Well, the issue is, in fact, that you're counting your days. Because by counting your days, you're still identifying yourself with the problem. Even though you've counted 2,000, 1,000, however many days, you're counting that you're still attached to this habit. You haven't erased it from your life. It's still part of how you think, because every single day you think, I still do this, or it's been this long since I do it, but by doing that, you're still thinking about the habit. It's still a part of you. Instead, I recommend not counting your streaks at all, or stop counting after 2 or 3 weeks. See, let's say you're at day 200 of counting your streak. You might be like, wow, I've gone 200 days without falling into this bad habit. The problem with that is that it's still at the front of your mind. You're still thinking about this habit. And so you're still using willpower to resist the habit, as opposed to it simply being out of sight, out of mind. For example, let's say you've been maybe watching certain videos you shouldn't be, because that's a pretty popular one. And you're on, say, day 90 because you thought, oh, if you do 90 days, then you get superpowers, you can fly, you can see through walls, you get death perception in real life, like in Call of Duty Zombies. You get all these superpowers and it'll be super easy, you'll never think about it again, and this and that. But the problem is, at day 90, you fail. Why did you fail? Because you are like, I'm 90 days in. All this should be happening. And one, it isn't, because that's not how that works. And two, you're still thinking about it. So you're like, wow, it's been so long. And then you're like, wow, I could really go for something. You keep thinking about it. And willpower is known to be like a battery. The more you have to actively resist something, the more that battery drains. So, because you're thinking about it, you're having to actively resist giving in, as opposed to simply not giving in because it's not even on your mind. You're not even thinking about it as a thing you could do. And so, probably happened to you before, you end up falling into the trap because you run out of willpower. You're like, man, I can't do this anymore. And so you just lose it. It's like you lose control over yourself completely, and yeah. All that's to say is that you should stop identifying yourself with your addiction or bad habit or whatever the case is. So count, if you want to. Count to week 2. And after week 2, all right, I've gone 2 weeks without this. This is done. This isn't me anymore. And you stop thinking about it. Another bonus of this strategy is the fact that because you've stopped counting the days, the exact amount of time that has passed starts to get blurry. And so you might actually, if you end up randomly thinking about your bad habit again, you might actually find it harder to go back to because you're like, hang on, it's been, 6 months since I last did this? When actually it's been like 4, but you feel like more time has passed than has actually passed, and so you feel even more motivated because it feels like it's been so long. Without keeping it at the front of your mind by actively thinking about it every single day. Therefore, in short, as JFK said, stop keeping your eyes on the past because you will miss the future.
We are now at DEFCON 5. Security lockdown.
Today would be nice. Things do not happen. They are made to happen.
Tip number 2. Don't give up because of one failure. Another issue that is associated with streaks is that one failure resets all of your progress. And this is a very, very terrible mentality because it's not how it works at all. And it leads into lots of people actually bringing themselves back to 0 when they weren't even at 0 in the first place. Let's take, for example, your habit has been going to the gym, or that's the habit you're building to replace it, and your original habit was procrastination. You decide that you're going to count your streaks, count your days of how long you can go without. And let's say you are still adhering to this mindset of 90 days and it's automatic and everything's, I've hit the goal and I don't need to do any work anymore. Which isn't true. But let's say you're following that. Then you get to day 89 and you're really, really not feeling it that day. You don't go to the gym. You procrastinate on your work. And now your streak is at 0 because you didn't go 90 days straight without a single mistake. I mean, just the concept of 90 days straight without a single mistake is honestly laughable, because humans make mistakes all of the time. Like, you're probably making hundreds of mistakes, or maybe at least dozens of mistakes every single day. And when you're building a new habit up from the ground, from absolutely nothing, well, you will make a mistake because you're starting something new. I mean, no one's good at something that they just start. Take, for example, your favorite artist. I guarantee you that their music did not start as good as it was. Even for myself with my videos, I like to think I'm pretty good these days, but if I look back a year from now, I'll probably be like, wow, my videos are a lot better than they used to be. Looking back at when I started, yeah, my videos are a lot better now than they used to be. It's just how it goes. And so, don't be ashamed to make a mistake. Don't be ashamed to miss a day. In fact, there's firstly no reason why you should feel like you can't miss a single day, because, say, going to the gym, it's good to go to the gym often, but one, you need rest days, and two, it's not the end of the world if you miss one day of going to the gym. You're not going to lose all of your gains. Like, you're not going to get muscle atrophy day one. Another thing is just the concept of streaks. It's not how habits work at all. A lot of people think, well, because I missed a single day, my streak is lost, all my progress is gone, no, woe is me, it's the end of the world, and it's like, okay, well, first of all, now you're beating yourself up and drowning in your sorrow that you made one single mistake over the course of how many hundreds of days, or how many dozens of days, or you're setting yourself back for no reason at all. Because, fun fact with how habit building works is missing a single day of your habit, or failing once, having one relapse, for example, doesn't actually erase all of your progress. In fact, it kind of only erases about a day's worth, which isn't really much at all. A particularly dangerous thing that people do after one failure, because they've been counting streaks and they think it goes straight to 0 because of one mistake, is that they binge. Why? Because like, well, I've lost all my progress anyways. I may as well just, keep going, and then I'll just start from scratch again later. Except you didn't lose all your progress. But now that you went back and did all of this, well, now, yeah, you've lost a lot of progress because you purposefully put yourself back into this hole. It'd be like if your goal was anger management and you were put in an anger management program and you went 90 days, however long, 120 days, without getting angry once. And then the food in the vending machine gets stuck on its way down, so you decide to just go on a rampage and start beating random people up on the street. It's like, well, I got mad once, ever so slightly mad once. I guess I'm right back to 0, and I just gotta start going on a rampage. Like, no, you're doing this to yourself when it wasn't really that deep. It wasn't that big of a problem. So, to conclude, if you've been struggling because of that, well, stop. Stop thinking that you've lost all progress because of a single mistake. In fact, you will make mistakes. Mistakes is, as we know, a part of learning. I mean, even in terms of video games, how'd you become good at whatever game you're playing? How'd you become good at Call of Duty Zombies, for example? Well, you probably didn't know the best way to farm points at the beginning, and the best weapons to use. You experimented, you tried the Olympia, realized it was a mistake, and never bought it again. And that was life. So, if you make a mistake, don't beat yourself up. Don't purposefully throw everything away. Just stop and move on. Just focus on the next day doing better. Because if you lost that, say, day's worth of progress, well, just don't lose it the next day, and you're fine. In fact, the only reason this is a problem for a lot of people is because one failure does not erase your progress, but continuous failure or snowballing is what's the problem. If you miss one day and then miss the day after and then miss the day after, and then it kind of starts to snowball and you've missed so many days you can't imagine what it's like to work on your habit again, that's when it becomes a problem. So don't do that, and don't let that happen.